So what people are so desperately trying to run away from is the unconsciousness, which makes almost all of our soul, which is nothing else but a pool of emotional energy. And within that is a lot of unfinished business. A lot of energy that has not been processed yet. Energy that comes from past trauma, ancestral wounds, karma. It actually goes so far back. It's not only from this life. It's from previous lifetimes, previous generations, and even from the collective. So everything within your lineage that has not been processed has just been passed on for generations over generations until someone is facing it. And I know it's difficult to wrap your head around this. Like, how is energy from other people that I have no relation to, that even existed way before me, how is that within my unconsciousness? Well, you have to think of everything, whether something is visible or not, as one big energy field that consists of countless of particles that are all entangled with each other, that are all in interaction and in communication with each other. Like, energy is like a substance that is coherent and in motion, and it acts as a medium for information to be passed through. So our unconsciousness is not separate from the unconsciousness of other people. Our energy field extends beyond the body, and it's not separate from other energy fields around us. So this entanglement of particles is even independent of the distance in time and space. Einstein called it spooky action at a distance. This is how telepathy works. Or in other words, memories are stored in form of electromagnetic fields, which we can tune into when our thoughts, our behaviors, our feelings resemble those from people in the past. This is the morphic resonance theory. So, the deeper we go into the rabbit hole of our soul, the more it connects us up with pathways to the unconsciousness of the collective. So anyway, this residual energy within your unconsciousness is an accumulation of very dense, very low vibrational energy. You can call it fear. It is also everything that's born from fear. But fear is at the root of it. Fear is what's fueling it all. And maybe initially that energy was rather innocent. But over time it hardened. People went along with it for too long. People identified with it. People got lost in it for too long. People fed it. And energy is electromagnetic. So it attracts other energies of the same charge. And it groups and merges with it. And it becomes bigger. And then it takes up part of our inner space. So due to its density, this energy is pulled downwards in the direction of gravity, literally due to its weight. Because when energy is more of light, or when it's more transparent, it's pulled upwards. It levitates. So this energy has become, or has gotten, such an enormous downward momentum that now it acts as a vortex that pulls you into it. So this unfinished business in your unconsciousness is your shadow. And before you go into your unconsciousness to face your shadow, it will actually keep you a prisoner. Due to the momentum it has. That's all it is. Not because it has its own will. well, it definitely has its own agenda. But there's no will there. It is automized. It is completely playing out by default. It's like a train that has lost its driver, and it's going downhill at full speed. And it drags everything along with it. So this is why people are running away from themselves. Because it's scary. Especially when you look at it through the eyes of fear. It's like going into a void. So people prefer to exist on the surface, to have all their stabilities, their comforts and their distractions on the surface, and to suppress what's beneath. But it comes at the price of their freedom. Because before the unconsciousness is made conscious, the small self is trapped in a low vibrational state. The unprocessed energy is constantly being recycled. And it keeps the small self going around in circles with the same patterns. So it makes evolution appear to be stagnant, or even as if it's going backwards. So your shadow is constantly knocking on your door, and it does that in form of triggers. It's always an invitation to look at it, to face it. Have you ever wondered why it is so difficult to keep a consistent positive flow? Or why something is always knocking you off course? Or maybe you feel like you don't have much control over your life. This is where your shadow has you in its claws. In order to change that, you have to face your shadow. It needs your consciousness. It needs you to perform alchemy to it. But the deeper you go into your soul, the more it will feel like you're trying to turn around that train that has no driver and that is going downhill. But you're trying to get it to go uphill. So it's not easy. So it's like you have to go down to go up. Just like a tree is growing its roots away from the light in the direction of gravity first, before it's growing its stem and the branches. Because no tree can grow to heaven unless its roots reach all the way down to hell. That's what Jung says. So we have to dive into the vortex of our soul to transmute all the densities and all the low frequencies along the way, layer by layer, until we illuminate our entire energy field and levitate to heaven. Well, if you resonate with this content, make sure to subscribe to my channel, because there's a lot of interesting stuff still to come. And if you like the jewelry that I'm wearing, it's all created by myself. I have a shop. I will put the link in the description, so you can check it out if you want. Anyway, I'm sending you a lot of love.